had one.
Hey there. So today I am talking to you guys about something that I talked about before, but I thought I'd redo the video in a different way. So we're still going to talk about Sleepaway Camp, and we're just going to talk about my personal thoughts on the film as a whole, and things that have gone on, controversies and stuff like that that have been within the film. Well, if you haven't seen Sleepaway Camp, there's going to be spoilers here, so you probably should watch the movie first. Sleepaway Camp was a movie by Robert Hiltzik done in the 1980s, basically to cash in on the slasher craze at the time. It was a film that, it's a slasher film set in a camp. It has a very cheesy ending that was made, shocker ending, that was done for, you won't see this coming type of thing. Sleepaway Camp was a movie that, over the years, some critics have given more credence to than really should be. One thing I do like about Sleepaway Camp, and I'll say this right now, is that there is very rare around this time would you see a gay male couple in films, even though it's only for a fleeting period of time, and seen in a positive light. There is one scene that some people see as controversial, where Angela sees her father in bed with his lover, and ends up, I think, Angela and her brother, and they end up doing like experimenting. On some there were online critics on some of the forums and stuff that thought that was like her breaking point. No, but I didn't see that as such. I personally saw the film as hopefully the way that most people saw the film, in the fact that and was actually evidenced by my last video when the comments were fantastic on it overall. And this was a movie. This was a cheesy slasher movie. It was nice to see a positive gay male couple. I didn't take Angela's insanity as anything more than repression. If anything was like the villain in this movie, it was a standard pseudo Roman Catholic Christian repression, and that itself may be me seeing more into it than there is. But that's the way that I saw it. I saw the aunt, the one that adopts the guy that she forces to be a girl, to become Angela, to repress who this person is. And straight or gay didn't matter in this film. Actually, the gender thing was more of a shock thing than anything else. But when you see like what would make this girl crack, well, one, she's being ruthlessly teased all throughout the film by a bunch of jerks, and to the point where she's very scared of water and it's shoved in there. And I go with the two-killer theory in this one, by the way. I think Ricky did some of the killings as well, since Angela was deathly afraid of water, and there are water death scenes in the film. I also think that there was a show that came out a while back, and you all should remember the show, and it was called All in the Family. Now, All in the Family had a very bigoted lead character by the name of Archie Bunker. Now, Archie Bunker had all the racisms and all the sexisms and stuff that put into this one character. And we could see Archie and say, oh my God, I can't believe he would say that. And I would never do that, or I would never think that. But in actuality, the show All in the Family was there to teach us one thing, that in actuality, homophobia, racism, sexism, it's as ugly as it is, it's parts of all of us. It's how we handle those parts that determine the type of person we are, and how we perceive and see and take things from that. That's why the show resonated so well with so many people, and that's why that's what I take from this film here, is that I personally saw a positive message, as does majority of the LGBT community, of which my daughter here, say hi,
Hey.
is part of. And it was a fun film, but overall, it's not doing anything for or against. Does it help you in any way?
No.
Does it hurt you in any way?
No.
I don't think so. It's a film. It's fun. Enjoy it. Sleepaway Camp has some awkward scenes, but it's awkward not for that. It's awkward because it's an awkward film. It's not the best done film. When Robert Hiltzig would make a sequel to Sleepaway Camp years later, it would be atrocious. Good Angela face. We'd waited years to see this Felissa Rose had grown into a very beautiful woman, and unfortunately she gets, oh my God, I don't know what went wrong, but it was a horrific sequel. However, aside from Sleepaway Camp, there is a Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. It stars Bruce Springsteen's little sister, Pamela Springsteen, who would go on to become actually a very famous photographer. And she takes over the role of Angela. Angela now has had a sex change, and she's become gender aware, but she's still a psycho, and she's still killing people in the camps because, well, camping is her life, and people doing bad stuff, she'll get them just the way Jason, Michael, and Freddie and them all did. That's my thoughts on Sleepaway Camp. Wow, that's way less controversial than I thought, but there we go. A Sleepaway Camp is a fun film. If you enjoy slasher films, then you're probably going to enjoy Sleepaway Camp. Acting is not the greatest in the film. I think that it is fantastic that they do have a gay couple that actually have two kids together that are taking care of them. It is sad that we see this couple one of the members of this couple get killed so early on, and we see the girl with guy become mentally messed up because the kid doesn't end up staying with the gay with the other member of the gay couple. He ends up going with a psychotic mother character that doesn't believe in being open about anything, to the point where she represses the character's own identity. And if that may be reading too much into it, but if you watch it again, look at that. Look at the scenes between and they're very fleeting between the two men. And there's this controversial scene where her and her brother sees them in bed, like I mentioned before. But try to see it and not look at it as like, oh, this is... No, she's obviously being scarred by this. But as her saying, she's being awakened by this. And afterwards, tragedy happens that scars her, seeing her, the rest of her family, I say her, seeing the rest of her family die, and then get scarred even more by being forced to pretty much forget the loving family that she's had and become this person that doesn't exist. Wow, pretty deep when you think about it. Hey, for a little silly slasher film. When next time you see it, look at that. Check into that. Robert Hiltzig, I don't think was the type of director that was overly going for for that deep of a thing. Fortunately, though, it's there in the subtext of the film, which I think can help a lot of people, and it's nice to see a portrayal like that. And that's my thoughts, and as controversial as that sounds, which I don't think it's controversial at all, but hey, people were asking what my video was about. This is what my video is about. It's about a cheesy, fun little movie that I think can actually help some people if you view it in the if you view it and look at it and see and open your eyes to it. Those are my thoughts on the film, and I guess that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. See, wasn't so bad after all. It's like taking off a Band-Aid. It's kind of painless. thanks for watching, guys. And for me right now, enjoy the movie and keep your mind open. We're all a little bit Archie Bunker on the inside. It's just how you handle it. It's time for tea.